Hello and welcome to Habin Time. We're your hosts, Kat.
And Maddie.
Discuss a wide variety of topics, and this one's going to be a fun one for both of us, I think, for once.
It basically got put in yesterday.
Yeah. So, way back when, we were discussing on the last homework time what show you would want to watch next. And I mentioned one where the dragons are people or the dragons are mechs. And I never...
all the way.
Yeah, I never actually assigned it, but I figured you'd want either to watch Yona of the Dawn or Escaflowne.
And then I told you to watch Yona of the Dawn because I knew you would dig it. Like, I just intrinsically knew that this was a show you were going to enjoy. Probably more than Escaflowne, although Escaflowne is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, watch it. I said, just watch one episode. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
And then I said, you know, that's never gonna happen. And you're like, yeah, I know. Maybe that's what I'm planning on. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
well,
yeah. Like, that's the thing. When I said only watch an episode of Snow White, it was like, whatever. She probably can stop after one episode. And then you didn't. Yona, I knew you couldn't stop after one episode because of where episode 1 ends off.
You know, that's really rude, knowing where episode 1 ends, and you said, just watch one episode.
Just watch one, because I just wanted you to watch the damn show.
I was just like, okay.
And then you never did.
Nope, never did. I was like, I binged my Snow White. It was great. I guess I gotta take a break from anime. You know, WoW came out. HOTS is in full swing.
Right.
Like, I got a bunch of stuff to do. And when can I watch?
You were
anime?
working on your other job. You're editing this. You're editing other things.
It's like, no time for anime. What are you talking about? Put anime on hold.
And then a couple of days ago, she's all like, oh, well, I'm going to rewatch Orin while I do this thing, or I'm going to marathon Snow White in the background.
I didn't even say I was marathoning
fun.
Snow White. I was just
No,
like,
you
I'm going to click on Orin. Oh my god, this anime makes me so happy. And then I was like, I still want to watch anime. What can I do? This is right after I caught up on Pre-Fi, which is why I started. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Like, click episode 1 Snow White. And now I'm just going to watch all of Snow White. All right, cool.
And then at the same time, at some point, I think you mentioned rewatching Oran, and I'm like, but Yona!
Yes,
you could watch a new show!
Yeah.
You could watch Yona!
You're just like, but why aren't you watching Yona? And I'm like, wait a second.
Getting whinier and whinier about it.
I was
you
like,
really wanted you to watch this fucking show.
I was playing a game at the same time, so I was like, you don't want me to be distracted while watching Yona, do you? And you're like, oh,
no.
Okay. And so finally it was like, I don't even know when, but people got offline, and I was like, finish watching Snow White. It's about 8 o'clock at night. I feel like if I click this Yona of the Dawn episode 1, I'm gonna do bad things.
Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm really early to go to bed. I'm usually like in bed watching anime by 10 o'clock. And so sometimes though I'll look over on my phone just to see if anyone's talking, and I see, okay, I'm gonna start Yona 1 minute ago, and it, like you said, it was 8 o'clock your time, it was 11 o'clock my time. I'm like, oh no, I should stop her, but I want her to watch this fucking show. So yeah. I kept my mouth shut and I didn't say any. I was like, yeah, enjoy that.
I didn't even see, like, you weren't online, right? I was just like, she'll probably enjoy
I
this.
saw the preview on like the front screen of my phone. I'm like, oh no. I should stop her. That's what a good friend would do, would stop her.
You know what's funny is I was just like, oh man, no, this is interesting. And then suddenly I see Richard typing. I was like, oh god, you're awake. No, please stop me now. And you're like, why would I stop you?
Yeah, I was like, no, enjoy that. Just remember to try and go to bed eventually. Oh boy. Oh. So yeah, I stayed awake to catch her reactions of the first episode, which is always fun. We'll get to that. But yeah, how long did it take you to watch Yona of the Dawn, Maddie?
Started at 8 o'clock. So I think it's like 15 hours. Including the 7 hours I slept.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So yeah. So okay. She said long ago that was like, yeah, this show is super marathonable.
Yeah, I warned her. I wasn't gonna Snow White her again, even though I don't think that's a marathonable show. It's like, I was like, this show is really hard to stop once it gets going. So like, stop when you can, so you can take a break.
How about no? I did.
Nope.
I took a break at 1:30 to sleep. I found a stopping point. I don't even remember where it was. Oh no, I do remember where it was.
It was in between the two seasons. I mean,
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, where it should have stopped. Great. Yeah, so my thing is I tend to watch a season um if I don't have time. If I have time, I'll just watch until I can't watch
Right.
anymore. But yeah, started watching it, and Kat was dealing with her own Natsume struggles, so it's just like,
Yes.
hey, yeah, type as I'm kind of watching this. Like, I'm watching it, but kind of also typing, and then some, and then episode 1 gets into full swing, and I'm like, whoa, wait, hold up.
But
'Cause
before we
yeah.
get too into that, this episode's probably gonna have spoilers for Yona of the Dawn, so you've been warned. La la la. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So it started, and I was like, well, first this intro, like, dude, this intro I loved,
Yes.
because I was like, oh, is this what I'm gonna get? Oh man,
It's so impactful. It's like you get her standing on the edge of a cliff, and there are guys with like crazy big arms and jumping super high, and then
bow
she's
and
got an
arrows,
arrow,
and
and
it's like, yes.
it's intense.
And she has short hair, and
Yes.
she has long hair, bright as I just saw her. So I was like, okay, great, transformative journey. Of course, I'll say that because I just heard that in my class. Anyway, yeah, so I was like, ooh, I want to see when she's like that.
Yes.
That's gonna be great. And so also I really dig the song. I dig the aesthetic of that song. So yeah, it doing background and stuff, and I'm like, oh, cool. Oh my god, these children are adorable.
Yes.
when
Oh my
little
god,
kids.
when they show them as like little kids, and Suwon's all like rosy cheeked and adorable, and Hawk's all like, I'm a gruff kid. What are you talking about? I'm gonna nap everywhere.
Yeah. And then, the whole thing, she loves Suwon, and I'm like, cool. You're not getting this happiness. I don't know how, but obviously we're in episode 1 of an anime, so you're not getting happiness. Like, but then it just suddenly hits me, like, nothing really big had happened yet, but it's just like, oh god, Suwon's gonna betray her, isn't she?
I knew someone was gonna betray her when I first watched. I didn't necessarily think it was gonna be Suwon. But I did think someone was going to betray her, especially because Suwon was absent from that intro.
Well, actually, okay, I don't know if the intro changed or anything, but he's...
No, not the intro song, the intro of them on the side of the cliff.
Oh, yes, that part.
Because, yeah, he's in the intro song.
Yeah.
More so in the second one, though. I don't know if he's in the first intro song as much, other than that one zoom in bit with the eagle behind him.
Yeah.
Looking all menacing.
Yeah, so obviously he's gonna be the bad guy. And then and then complicated.
Yes.
Like, he is the bad guy, but like, is he?
Well, that's the thing. Okay, jumping way ahead. Suwon is a really interesting antagonist because he's not evil.
He just made a stupid decision.
Yeah, no, he's going about things the worst way possible. Like, there was one really easy thing that he had to do, and it would have all been fine. But no, he had to do what he does, and it's like, well, shit. That didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
But like, even when he has the chance to finish the job, he doesn't. Like, he's not. And like, I'm a bit further ahead because of the manga. I'm not caught up, but like, he gets more and more interesting as the story goes, and it's like, man, I don't like these complicated feelings you're giving me, show. I just want to be like, no, this guy's evil. It's black and white. Rah, rah, rah. No, it's all shades of gray, and I love that. Like, it sucks, but I love it.
Yeah, it's up to, and it's cool because it's part of Yona dealing with things as well, right? Because it's like, well, okay, so like, what episode in freaking they are like, I guess they kind of like, they show that they love each other. It's hard to interpret what Suwon wants,
Yeah,
because he kind of really goes about it really roundabout.
Yeah, and he really does try and force the brother-sister dynamic almost. Like, they're more of a sibling love than a than a romantic love, especially because he probably knows how Hawk feels about Yona too.
Yeah. Yoda's so clueless. Anyway,
yeah, I know.
But yeah, so yeah, and then like, Yona is set up as this naive, like, pampered princess, who doesn't really know about the outside world and just wants, the one thing she kind of wants, which is Suwon.
Yeah.
And her father says no, denied. And so it builds up to where she's like, I'm going to confront him. I'm going to take a step forward. And Suwon had just killed her father. And it's like, okay.
Yep, just stabbed him through the heart. He dead. He's drowning in a pool of his own blood.
I don't know if stabbing through the heart is drowning, but
yeah.
He's in it. Yeah. And then shit goes to hell. Yeah. Really fast.
And part of that original, like, that first bit, it shows how she goes from pampered princess to runaway fugitive almost. And yet, like, yeah, her spirit's broken at first, but she does start to rebuild herself pretty damn quickly.
Yeah, it's actually within, like, 2 days.
Yeah, like, once she's in a place where she feels safe, she does work hard to be like, I can't just sit here and be the sad little runaway princess anymore.
Well, she had the, like, revelation that it's just like, I can't let people I care about get hurt because I'm powerless. Like, I need to be able to step up and help them. And that comes fast. And, like, can't you do that right away?
Nope.
But like, she gets, like, kind of the motivation, and she's, like, trying, though she's still naive about the world and stuff. And so it kind of pulls you forward to see, like, okay, can't she do it? Like, what's gonna happen here? And also, you have the intro, which basically right after she runs away, basically skips forward to, they say, the present, where she's being all badass and she has 4 pretty dragon boys, and and,
4 pretty dragon boys, 1 boy genius, and 1 lightning beast.
Yes, thunder beast.
Oh, it's lightning beast.
You know what? Screw
Funimation type.
Screw Funimation. I'm watching Crunchyroll anyway.
Well, they're the same, right? So.
Well, it says on the subtitles Thunder Beast. Like, what do you want me to do?
Ryujin. I'll just call him Ryujin from now on.
Yeah, sure. Or call him Hawk. Anyway.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Easy peasy. Yeah, so I actually freaked out because I honestly thought the anime was just gonna skip to right there and be like, okay, we're going on. I was like, no, you can't do that to me. You don't skip story like that. Not allowed. But no.
Yeah, I think that was just the show's way of saying, okay, we know we presented you like the spoiled princess in the first bit, but trust me, it gets really good. Like, just give it a minute, okay?
Oh man, it gets so good.
The whole, like, change, the point where her hair changes is actually surprisingly far in that first, like, chunk of episodes.
Yeah, and I kind of thought it was gonna be Tales of the Abyss-esque, where it was gonna be like, but no, it was better.
It was so much better. Like, I love Tales of the Abyss haircutting scene because it's got its poignant moments and it is a sign of him growing.
Mm-hmm.
But for Yona, it's like, my hair is being held. There is a blade. I need to go save my friend.
Yeah, like, it was like practical. Like, I'm gonna take a step to try and save someone. Cut the hair, run. Oh, that part was so good. Also, it was the first time she got fire eyes, so it was just like, oh, fire eyes. Something's different about this girl.
I love the fire eyes. I wish it happened more often in the anime. But, like, the anime actually does take its time. Like, that's the thing. That's the reason why. This one disappointing thing about the show is it takes its time. So it's never rushed, but at the same time, there's only so many episodes, and who knows when we'll get another season.
There's always so many episodes of her being really great.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got to introduce the dragons.
But we have. That's getting ahead of myself. Yeah. So I first night I started at 8, stayed up till 1:30. I watched 14. Was that around that many episodes?
Yeah.
And yeah, super. Like, there was never really a break. At all.
Well, I mean,
the breaks, like, after you get after you get party members.
Yeah, you can either break after they leave the Wind Tribe or after they get dragons. Like, those are your breaks.
Yeah.
Also, maybe after you leave Iksu.
Yeah, I like Iksu.
I love
You get
him.
a lot of backstory. Like, every time you first meet a character, it's like, okay, present, we're reading the character, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly it'll go to backstory for, like, half an episode. And I'm like, I appreciate that. But at the same time, like, in my heart, I'm just like, but I need to know what's next.
But I like knowing about all the
I do like knowing the backstories.
They're kids.
Yeah. Oh,
and you get that for all of them except for
the one where
you only get one episode with him. I
Yeah.
like the yellow dragon though. I'm used to calling him the golden dragon, but
he's cute.
he's adorable.
He little boy.
He's one of the most interesting characters, but unfortunately the manga couldn't get there because they only gave him one episode. So yeah, they did do an OVA, which is the first set of dragons, and that's really interesting. But that doesn't seem to be available anywhere to watch legally. So
that sucks.
Yep, it does.
Yeah.
But hopefully Crunchy will put it up if there's ever a season 2 type of thing because it is important. But yeah,
quick shout out to that one kid who said, "Don't worry, I'll get out," and then proceeds to sacrifice himself immediately, like I said he was going to.
Yeah. Oh, he knew he was he knew he wasn't getting out of it. That was
those
sad.
words. Don't say those words. Just say a proper goodbye. I knew he was trying to keep the princess in like her right mind, though she was long gone by then.
Oh yeah, by that point she's like just a rag doll being carried around by Hop.
Basically.
And oh man, that whole first chunk where they're getting to the Wind Tribe, my heart was just breaking for both of them because he's watching his favorite person be just like a broken doll, and she's trying to get better, but then remembering all the horrible shit that just happened and how she lost everything.
Yeah. And like being confused on what happened, I guess, because that one character is like not like that, so it's just like, what?
Did I even know them? Was everything I knew a lie?
Yeah, all those deep questions. And then who am I? I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I think she does think about that.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, and especially because like everyone keeps telling her that she's this reincarnation of the Red Dragon, and she's like, no, I'm just Yona. I'm just trying to protect my friend.
Yeah. That's actually really cool. The fact that she's just like, by the way, so like I'm a scoundrel trying to. When she confronts the first dragon, she's like my master, and she's like, no, I'm not your master. I'm not a
your
king.
Friend.
I'm gonna be your friend. And I'm asking you to help my power for selfish reasons.
Yeah, that was great.
And he's like, all right. Cool.
Well, no, he's like, oh, I see you need me to protect this weak, feeble human who's always by your side.
That's just the Hack and Ija rivalry.
I love their rivalry. It's so much fun.
So much fun. I love
then, oh yeah, same. And then we followed up with Shinha, who's in a completely different situation. Like, he's hated by his tribe. And he's shy and he's scared. And
what's really cool is the fact that right away, like, I was like, okay, so like, is it gonna be like, oh, she's the reincarnation, but like she actually isn't. It's just because she has red hair. Like, I didn't know how it's gonna play out. Like, if she was just gonna go along with it, and then you get the whole like they look at her, and I'm like, oh,
the blood rushing backwards.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, so she actually is. Only the dragons really know it. She won't, I guess, accept it, or like she doesn't really think about it at this point. But it's just like, okay, so something's definitely greater than what she has right now, I guess.
That's one of my favorite things. Skipping way ahead, but I love when they're all really surprised that the yellow dragon is all like, oh yeah, by the way, fun fact, I'm the yellow dragon, and they're all like, you didn't go through the
blood boiling thing.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, not at all.
Like, oh yeah, no, I guess I did that.
I love Jiha's reaction because she's like, even that had me wanting to like do something. And I was like, oh, Jiha.
Jiha's great though. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna randomly take off my clothes, and oh look, I'm bleeding.
That's skipping so far ahead.
I know.
Oh god.
Sorry guys.
It's just hard. We've always skipped around during these things. It's hard, but like, what pulled me forward was wanting to see her grow, I guess.
Yes.
To see how she could do it, and then of course, I like me some tragedy. Seeing some tragedy isn't the worst thing in the world.
How did you feel at the halfway point when it jumps away from Yona for a little bit, for like 2 episodes?
At first, I was like, ugh, no.
Yeah. Same.
But then, I watched it, and it made his character interesting because it's like,
you can see that he's not evil. He's just going about this in the dumbest way possible.
But the thing is like, it works. worked.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, I don't understand. Like, okay, you're doing the things, and it's like, okay, I guess it's working, but you still have the past in your mind, so you're like, but can I forgive you for that? And that kind of develops more into when, I screamed no yesterday.
Oh.
Because that episode. Oh god, that episode. Anyway,
Yeah, we'll save that for the end.
For later, yeah. But yeah, so I was like, okay, this is weird. But it was good story.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I guess a break, because at the time they were searching for the green dragon.
That's right, yeah.
So it's like, okay, so I guess this would be like, oh, they're searching, they're just walking around, blah, 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 whatever. Well, I guess we're going to this point of view. And yeah, that was cool. Of course, I was like, no, why are you showing me this asshole? But, it was needed, I guess, to see what he was doing. So you can make a decision of how you feel about him.
And that's the one thing, like, they're very clear, at least upon rewatching the show recently, because I recently bought the DVD, and so I watched it in English, which was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they make it really clear that King Il was awful. Like, he was not a good king. He was trying to be a good king. He was trying to lead the people in a way he thought would be best for them, but he was not a good king, and people were dying because of his peaceful, quote unquote, practices.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it becomes that conflict of like, but I don't want to like you because you made the main character sad, you meanie.
Yeah, basically.
And the king had it coming. If it wasn't, him doing it, it would have been somebody else.
Eventually, probably, yeah.
But then you also have Hawk's point of view, where he saw that the king wasn't a coward and had his own way of doing things. It's conflicting.
Yeah.
And that's probably what makes the show so good, because it's like nothing is black and white. It is.
Well, you even see Yona struggling over it, right? Because she's going through the kingdom
Exactly.
and she's hearing how everybody else felt about her father, and like most of it was like he
Not
was
good.
awful. And then she sees what happened under his rule, and he's like, yeah, okay. Which gets to the point where she's just like, so I'm gonna take up weapons to protect this kingdom that you tried to protect but didn't do the right way.
Yeah. And she's always apologizing to her dad when she does finally take up the weapon.
Oh, but the first time she shoots is...
Yeah.
Like, for real, I guess. First time she shoots for real. Yeah.
Which is near the end of the show.
Which is right near the end of the show. I keep rewatching it because it's so damn good. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Sorry. No, go.
No. I was going to say, so one thing I really like about the show is that each dragon has a different type of upbringing. So, like, the white dragon has his entire village, which reveres him as essentially a godlike being.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have...
which kind of, like, was interesting because he's not super, like he's naive about the world, right? But he's not super like, he's like, why
he's
am
spoiled
I
in the sense that he can't sleep outside
but
away
he's not
and doesn't
spoiled
want to eat bugs. And
he's not spoiled in the fact that, like, you bring me everything you want. He's like, no, I'll do everything because you're my master, kind of deal. So it was interesting to see how he reacted to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, how he's spoiled but not. And he grows out of it, sort of.
Pretty
quickly, yeah.
Like, he still has a high and mighty way of talking or whatever, but, like,
well, he's the one more that, like, is just like, so guys, we're the 4 dragons. Let me teach you about your heritage.
Yes.
And I like that, because it's like, oh.
Especially considering Shinha, the next dragon, the blue dragon, he knows nothing because his clan felt that the blue dragons were signs of misfortune, essentially. And so it's completely the opposite. And then you go even further ahead to Jiha, the green dragon, and he's neither, like, he had a shitty upbringing at first.
Yeah, he was imprisoned.
Yeah, but when he gets out, he's just like, I just want to be free.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I care about.
I still laugh when it's just like, I just want to be free. Look. Oh, God.
Oh, no. This is bad.
He's just like, no. This is the stupid dragon blood. But I'm just like, as episodes go by, I'm just like, but is it? But is it? It is
Well, that's
like to an extent, like all of them. It's like the dragon blood. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. But Yona has that way of like, I guess, drawing people to aid her.
Yeah,
her
exactly.
spirit.
Like she tries so hard and she works so much that you kind of just can't help and help her out when you can. It's
Yeah.
like, aw, she just needs a little hand. Be it a giant white dragon hand.
It'll be a giant white dragon hand. Yeah.
Oh man. And then I know the background for the yellow dragon, but you don't. And yeah, that's some interesting heartbreaking shit, to say the least.
So what if I told you I started researching Yona the Dawn?
Oh, so you do know.
Only a little bit. I know who he is. Let's say that.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like,
Yeah. So
who
that
he is
so it kind of
why
explains
it's so
it, but
heartbreaking.
at the same time it doesn't. So, but yeah, like I don't have the full story. I'm just like, yeah, he's this guy, and I'm just like, oh man, that must have. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interested to see where he goes. But yeah, I just want to see her crushing armies or that regiment of soldiers because that was sick.
Based on how far I did get in the manga, that doesn't happen. That's pretty soon.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
because it kind of ends with it. It kind of ends with her looking over some. Like I don't know if it was a time skip or not, right?
Not really. Like,
but it kind of ends with her looking over and being like, "All right, let's go, guys. I need your power to protect this kingdom." And they're like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, no. From what I understand, she gets wind of another kingdom trying to attack, and because Suwon is either busy or doesn't have all the army set up, because that's what he's doing right now. He's trying to rebuild the army so that he can protect the kingdom that way.
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, I've got these 4 superhuman dragons and my Ryujin, so let's go do this.
Yeah, so let's go do this. I also can shoot a bow straight now.
Yes. I can now kill people.
I can now kill people to protect this kingdom. So you guys all better watch out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I can apparently intimidate people to the point that they won't fight back.
I know, right? Like the fact that she can people can feel her stare. That kills me. It's like, oh man, you know, she's powerful.
It's even better when the dude was just like, "What is this bloodlust I sense?" I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like, you want to hurt my dragon? No.
No, you do not hurt my dragon. I'm gonna stand here while you monologue until I finally shoot you in the heart.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
That moment was so like the payoff is so good in the show, and the next couple of bits that I've read, I would love to see them animated. Like there's they kind of mention it in one of the episodes where there's a drug going around that's getting people addicted.
Yeah.
And that becomes a story point in one of the towns, and
sick.
yeah, no, it's just like, I want to see more of this. There are some new characters, like other daughters of the generals that she helps, and that's really interesting. And it's like, I just want another season of this show. It's so good. And yes, you need more.
It'll happen, I think. I don't know.
Probably. Well, the thing is, from what I understand, the studio that made the show isn't huge, and I don't think they're working on anything else super big right now. So it's entirely possible that we will get another season eventually. Considering it's still ongoing, it's quite possible.
Yeah, because it didn't say Finn or anything like a certain anime.
I've seen anime that say Finn and then have another season, so it's like Finn means nothing unless the manga.
Yeah, but like the intention wasn't to finish it there, you know, because it was just like walk away, and it says thank you for the support at the very end. I'm just like, okay.
That's a lot of shows will do that when they don't have a confirmed second season. They'll be like, thanks for watching or thanks for the support, and then they'll eventually get another season.
I love how the top comment on the last episode is just like, okay, everyone, throw money at the producers until they make a next season.
Exactly.
And it has so many likes. It's great.
It's true though. Like if there were a way where I could directly give them money to be like, this is how much I like the show, because as somebody who's buying anime overseas, yeah, I'm supporting Funimation more than I am them specifically. And Crunchyroll, a portion of like the subscriber fees does go back to the producers. But that doesn't change the fact that I want to directly give them money. It's like, just Kickstarter it. I will donate, please.
I will donate for this. Yeah, actually. I bet if anime did Kickstart, they would get a lot of support.
A lot of animes have been going the Kickstarter route just because it is an easier way to gauge actual interest. But yeah, I'm sorry. If a show that's as niche as like Showagen Rakugo Shinju can get I know, right? It's even a mouthful.
That's a name.
Yeah. Oh wait, because the second season's called Suke Rokuhen Showagen Roku Rakugo Shinju.
Oh my
And it's like, oh my god,
Please stop.
I can't. It hurts my tongue. But yeah, if that can get a second season, and that's a show I'll probably recommend to you eventually, then anything can, because that was niche as fuck and it was amazing.
Well, great.
Yep.
Because yeah, like okay, we got to like we got to the getting the fighting the Green Dragon, and the Green Dragon's interesting because he's like, yeah, I don't want to. I'm about freedom. Like, screw you trying to force me. And what's great about the first meeting is he's just like, I'm asking you, and he's like, no, and he's like, okay, and he's very confused. He's like, wait, what?
What do you mean you're accepting my no? And she's like, well, I'm not happy about it, but you said no.
Yeah.
So
why would I force you? She's
oh. I love that little pouty face she makes. It's like, I'm really upset, but fine.
But fine. And then Gija's just like, you can't say no to her. And he's just like, I mean, I just did. But it's great because inside he was just like, but I don't want to let go. And it's just like,
oh, that scene on a cliff.
Yes. Oh my God. That scene on the cliff was like, that's probably because he started following her without realizing it. He's just like, and then he's like, I don't know if it's like, I'm going to blame it on the dragon blood, but at the same time, she's just a frail girl who's just trying to step forward through crying and shaking. And it's really great to see their character development through that scene of just how they get to know each other, I guess. And even when she's like basically about to fall in the ocean, she's just like, don't help me because I need to do this myself. And well, we kind of had to because again, another wave, and it's like she's not strong enough for that. Yeah, no, she would have been swept away. But yeah, I was kind of interested to see her being swept away and seeing how the dragons reacted to it. Because she was gonna be fine, like, you know. Of course. That's only like 3/4 of the way through the season. They're not just gonna be like, and then Yona died. Yeah, let's focus on Suwon fixing the country. Oh my god, that'd be awful. But yeah, Jiha seems like to reflexively go to her aid when another wave comes, and it's great. No, it's so sweet. Yeah. Who out of all the characters? We didn't really talk about June, the boy genius, but oh my god, how did we not talk about June? He's such a precious boy. Isn't he? I love his little feather thing. Yeah. I just want to pet him. I liked it when he dressed up as a girl. That was hilarious. He's like, well, I guess I'm the only one who's beautiful enough to do this. Yeah. Well, that whole arc, right, was like so interesting to see how they work together, but like how much he's also in Yona's position, right? Where it's just like he can do a lot of things, right? But he's not strong. Like he can't really protect in the way that he can use his brain, but he has little to no brawn. Like but he goes there, and he's also the youngest one. He's like 14. Is he 14? He's 14, and the rest of them are 15 and up. Like Yona just turned 15. Hawk, I think, is 17. Yona just turned 16. Oh, is it 16? Okay, then maybe June is 15. I know he's still the youngest, not by much, but I know Gija is 20. Yes, 20, because he gets bitched at for not making kids. For not having, yes. Oh god. But yeah, that whole arc was interesting because he goes, don't worry, I'll protect her. But during the whole thing, when shit's going down, he's just like, I said I could, but I can't. Yeah. He still tries. So he's kind of like in Yona's position where it's just like, what can I do? What can I do? And it's really interesting to see that. And at the end, he when like they're both kind of beaten up and he goes unconscious for like a quick second and he realizes that Yona was crying for him. He's just like, oh, it was so adorable to see. But I love him. Yeah. His whole character and the whole, like, he's so haughty when he's in his element. Like when he's dealing with Iksu, he's like throwing insults at him and just being like, oh my god, you're useless without me, the boy genius. And like you'd think a character like that would get annoying really fast, but like the second he gets out of there, you can see that he's still really smart and still like capable of doing things. But the second, like the cave-in is a good example where you see he's just a scared kid. Like he's in way over his head.
and Yona's actually the one who helps him calm down in that situation.
Like in those situations, you see that Yona's actually like the one who protects. Almost.
Yes.
Even because during that she took. Yeah, because literally in the pirate ship, she's the one, like, he protects her with his words, right? But then when he's, like, really in shit, she goes and protects him.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Oh, it's so good. That whole pirate ship bit is so good. And it's most of the second half of the episodes. And it is so hard to stop during any of those episodes because, like, I just want to know what happens. I just want to know what happens.
Yeah, basically. They are very good at ending not on a point where you want to stop.
Yeah, like the episode that made you cry out no.
I hate you.
So, a little backstory to this. Maddie started classes the day after she started watching the show. And what happened? Why don't you describe what happened?
I thought we were talking about which character is our favorite.
Okay, we can, but I mean...
what?
No, we can talk about favorite characters.
Good. I don't know. They're all great.
They're all great,
If we're not including Yona, because of course I'm going to like the protagonist the most.
Yeah.
Because I'm supposed to. Also, I like female protagonists who are actually written well.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's hard because all the dragons are great because they're so different.
Exactly, yeah. I had a friend who recently started reaching it, like a little bit before you, go, so which one's your favorite? Is it Hawk? I'm like, yes, no, I don't.
Yes, no.
I mean, yes, I want her to end up with Hawk. For sure. 100%. That's the ship I like from that show.
That's the dream.
But there is a white-haired character in this show.
I know, I got it.
But then there's also Jiha, who's just awesome, and I love him. And then Shinha's adorable, and you just want to give him a hug, and then there's Zeno, and I can't.
Yeah, it's super hard to choose, to be honest, because each one has their like things that make them best.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess maybe I would choose Gija as my favorite, probably.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, I liked his episode because it confirmed the fact that she was actually, like, she's special somehow, and then his reaction to it was interesting, and his whole, like, he can get, all the dragons actually get bloodthirsty whenever Yona's in danger, which is pretty funny.
Exactly. Yeah, their fangs get bigger, they get their arms or their limbs that are affected by their power get more monstrous.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
I love how at times Gija's arm will be like as long as his body.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, that's not right.
I don't think that's right. I also like the fact that he can walk around in a city and no one will really call him out on it.
I know. It's like he's barely hiding his hand. He's wearing a really unusual outfit compared to everybody else, and nobody points this out. Yeah. Silver hair and a weird, like, half
to be fair, the anime calls out lots of the times. It's just like, okay, let's all go in the city. It's just like, yeah, we'll go too. And it's just like,
red dragon princess, weird mask,
giant arm. It's just like, yeah, you're not going in.
The little notes that are all throughout the show where it's like, oh my god, that's so well done. It's like that in the manga too, where it's like, okay, just all these little side poking fun notes. I love it.
Also, the little heads that pop up every now and then. It's funny. It's good style.
I love how for a show that has as much violence as it does, there are those really funny moments where there's like chibi-fied or...
Yes, I did not expect how like cutesy it could get when like the first 2 episodes is just like blood everywhere, and I'm just like, God, that's a
that's a whole lot of violence.
A lot of violence. The violence, it's not like it stops or anything, but it's just like, that's a lot of blood.
I think the least bloody arc we get is the pirate ship arc.
It is, because they can't kill them.
Exactly. But oh my god, imagine if they could have.
Oh my god, there would be, oh dear. That ocean would be red.
Yep. Oh my god, that'd be funny.
Murder, it'd be funny.
Yeah, murder. Good times. Good times.
Yeah. It's hard to choose. I guess I'd say Gija, but all of them are great.
I would also probably default to Geisha, but I really do love Hawk. Like, I really like Hawk.
I mean, my full default is to Yona, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she's such a good character, though.
So good.
And yeah, right now her hair is getting longer in the manga, and I'm just give it a trim. Just
give it a little trim again.
Just get Jin to heat trim.
When you're a warrior woman, you need short hair.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't want to pull back a bow with long hair like that. It'd be bad.
I mean, if I had it in a ponytail, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, but she doesn't ever pull her hair back, right? So
yeah.
So, anyways,
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
But back to the episode that made you say no.
It was the end of the pirate arc, right? And it was like I was keeping
and you were
tabs on my
it's
time.
A good time to break.
Yeah. So I was keeping tabs on my time, right? It was 11:50, and I have to be at school at 12:30. It takes about 15 minutes to get there. So I was like, okay, plenty of time. This is great. But I was planning on stopping. So it's going, and then suddenly she walks off on her own. And I was like, okay, this is always something weird's gonna happen. But I didn't expect anything really bad. Like, I expected more like Hawk was gonna come searching for her and like scold her or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she walks away, and then suddenly she bumps into someone, and I'm just like, I don't know what my first reaction to the bump was, because I was just like, oh, it's probably just one of the dragons doing something, right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly, she gets the shocked face, and then I recognize the voice. So I'm just like, fuck. No. And then you get the shot of they looking up at each other, and it's Suwon. And I'm like, oh, anime, you just go into a corner and think about what you did at this time.
Yeah, that's how I felt, because I was watching this week to week, and it was like, no. No. You can't end there. I need the next episode now. What do you mean I have to wait a whole entire week for this? No.
No. So I was just like, yeah, so my texts were very rapid at that point, because I was just like, you can't, no, not him, no, why, they can't be like this, what are you doing, no, I have to leave, I can't.
And that's the thing, like, you didn't have a choice at that point. It's not like you had enough time to watch another episode.
I did, I just could have been late.
On your first day of class.
I know I can't be late. That's why I actually went. And then proceeded to watch in class, because I have no self-control, and fuck it, I am doing whatever it takes to watch that anime.
That's what killed me, because I'm like, well, I guess she'll just, like, get through the last couple of episodes, because at that point, there's only, like, 2 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, she'll get through it, and then she'll do that after she's finished her class.
And then in the middle of class, I texted, I was like, so I watched it, because I have no self-control, and she's like, and I spit out my drink.
Yeah, well, I was actually, like, eating, like, trail mix at the time, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to spit this everywhere. So I quickly clamped my hand over my mouth, and I was like, oh god. Whew, okay. Maddie.
I had to. And then the last one was just staring at me, so I was just like, I'm in the back corner deliberately. No one can see me watching this.
Oh my god.
Click. Done.
Yep. And then it's the whole, what do you mean we only get one episode with a really interesting character?
Yeah, I was just like, what do you mean it ends there?
Yeah.
What? What do you mean?
That's not fair. I know it's supposed to go.
Also, that whole meeting, going back to that whole meeting thing, it was like, I didn't know how they were going to react, and the way they did threw me off. Because I was just...
What, because he protected her?
I felt like he was going to protect, because like she thought he was dead, and he freaked out at that, right? So I knew he was going to go through shock real quick. I didn't know how he was going to protect her, but then the whole, like, she grabbed his sword, and then he put his hand on her hand, and I was just like, what's going to happen next? Like,
but the thing is, like, he does remove his hand before she...
Yes, like, she had a chance.
She's not going to stab him.
Yeah.
Even though she has every right to stab him.
Yeah.
And that's what makes...
Oh. Yeah, because I don't think she says a single thing.
She doesn't.
Like, she's in shock, right? And he kind of narrates the whole, like, do you hate me? Do you want to kill me? I mean, you have every right to, but you can't yet. I have things I have to do. Still have to do. And then he just walks away.
Yep. And that whole, there are still things I have to do does become an ongoing important theme.
Yeah, because Yona said it in, like, the second to last... no, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last episode.
Yeah. She thinks about it a lot. And it just... it makes for a really interesting dynamic, because And they even kind of touch on it in the anime. Is like, does the rightful king mean Yona? Does the rightful king mean Suan? What does this all mean? What is this prophecy that we still haven't fully completed yet because we don't have the sword and shield?
Right. And
I
the
mean,
red
you can
dragon
assume
hasn't awakened yet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she won't awaken until they get the sword and shield.
I know, but god damn it, I really want to.
Me too.
I just feel to be like, Yona, I know you don't like think you're the thing because you don't know how the dragons are like feeling. Like she doesn't know about the whole like
being able to sense each other.
Yeah, and the whole like they had the whole blood boil thing. I guess.
Yeah.
She only saw it once. I don't know if she made the connection. That was because she saw, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling she doesn't really connect the fact that she might be something more.
Yeah, no. Right now, she's just thinking, I'm a person on the run trying to make sure my friend doesn't die.
Like she said, she's just like, I feel like whenever I need to like protect someone or I'm in combat or whatever, my blood starts to boil and I can't stop it. Like, but she doesn't attribute anything to it, and she doesn't know about her fire eyes. Like, she just kind of does things when she's in that kind of stage, I guess.
I didn't even think of it like that, but you're totally right. Yeah.
Because I just watched that episode where she shoots the dude. I already forgot his name. But like she kind,
I think.
Yeah, she kind of like spaces out for a second. And Yuna's just like, help us, and she has the fire eyes, and like the background's all like blue fiery real quick, and then she like, you see she makes up her mind to do something, and she just does it, right? And she shoots perfectly straight. Like I feel like she can only do that in that state, at that point at least. She might have gotten good enough to like, she made up her mind to take weapons to like protect her kingdom.
And that is the first time where she takes a life, right?
Yes, it is. And she literally, the next episode she's like, I don't regret it at all.
Yeah. And nor should she, because she did what she had to do.
Yeah. But her resolve was, I'm gonna, do I want the throne? No. I made up my mind, I'm going to protect this kingdom the way I can, which is running around with a bunch of cute dragon boys and
sounds accurate.
and getting out corruption where I see it.
Oh, yeah, and that's because the corruption, the stakes get higher and higher with each like chapter, right? So
yeah,
it really is interesting seeing how she's trying to go and fix the ills that her dad left behind. And also inadvertently help Suan.
Yeah, because I feel like
her father.
Yeah. Well, because I feel like what's happening here is she sees the corruption, right? And she's like, "Well, my father didn't do a good job here." But she goes, keeping an eye on what Suwan's doing while she's like looking at the Empire and seeing how bad it is. She realizes, I have a feeling, she realizes that Suwan isn't corrupted. He's doing what he has, like he's trying to keep the kingdom together, right? So she doesn't feel a need that she has to destroy it, I guess, is my feeling.
And I'm sure if something ever happened where he did seem like he was not in a method, she would go and she'd shoot an arrow at him without a second doubt.
She would take her dragon boys and be like, well,
sorry gave you a chance, even after you murdered my dad.
My father, yeah. But you're doing some bad shit, so die.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, the last episode made me want so much more.
I know. That was the one thing I knew would be a bummer when we did eventually watch it, was that you're going to be wanting more because it's really good.
Oh, yeah. So the last 3 animes you recommended me, it's just like, ends, I want more. Ends, I really want more. Ends, I really, really want more. Thanks, Kat.
Look, I can't help the fact that anime studios don't tend to prioritize shoujo anime. I can't change that. Like, at least with Yona, there's a chance. With Snow White, there's very little chance we'll ever get more because of My Hero Academia being done by the same studio.
You hurt my soul.
I know. I hurt my soul too. But in both cases now, there's manga.
Is it in English?
Yes. Well, Snow White's going to be in English come, I think, like early 2019. They just announced it.
Okay.
So, and Yona the Dawn is like 13 volumes out right now, or out soon. Maybe out now by the time this episode airs.
Oh, 100% by the time this episode airs, it's going to be out now.
Yeah, because I was going to say it's like, what, 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good times. But yeah, I love this show, and I really wish more give it a chance. But I understand why it's hard, because that first episode, at least if you don't watch to the end, just seems like fluff. But if you don't want...
but like give it like Come on, you don't watch till
Give
the
it
end
the
of
episode.
the episode. Like, you at least give a thing until the end of the episode, unless it's so blatantly bad.
Yeah, and I don't think Yona, like, it always kills me though when people call it a harem anime, because I mean, like, it is in the sense she is a girl and she is surrounded by guys, but there's only ever one love interest.
For her, 100%, but I feel like deep down all
They
the
like
dragons
her, yeah.
secretly like her.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
But yeah. I still I like my show with my dragons. They're good boys and
Pretty dragon boys.
They deserve another season.
Oh, 100%. And like, you know, I want to see how much more Yona develops.
Oh, and she does. She does develop a lot more. She works hard, and she helps other people develop more. Especially with one of the arcs where I mentioned again, she meets daughters of the generals.
Yeah.
Like she helps them become stronger in order to protect their, and not country in that case, but like their town. And I love that. It was like, you're so good. You get a head pat. Although not from me, from Hawk. Hawk is the only one who can give you a head pat.
Give Yona a head pat?
Yes, give Yona a head pat.
Duh.
Although Hawk would probably make some lewd comment when he did it.
Of course he did. We would.
But yeah.
Hawk, man.
So Yona the Dawn, you would recommend?
To people who likes that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always hard, I guess. If you don't like the things I like, then I can't really recommend stuff for you, can I?
Well, the thing with Yona that I think is interesting is that it kind of goes across more than just one genre. Like, yes, it is specifically a girly anime, but it also is like a historical fantasy epic.
Yeah.
Like it hits a lot of boxes, and if you like one of those boxes, you'll probably enjoy the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just some great characters, some stunning artwork. Like I love how all of them are drawn, especially Shina and his eyes. Yeah. Even though you barely get to see them.
You don't see him on his face very often, but you know, whenever he uses power, you get the overlay of his eyes, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I guess that is technically not his power; it's just his passive.
Yeah,
his passive of being able to see wherever.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've rambled on nice and long about a good show. Now I recommended a couple of shows to you after you finished that one, but I think the one that you should really watch is Chihaya Furu because it's good, and you can't marathon it in a day.
Yeah, I've been told I can't because there's just literally too many episodes to marathon in a day. Too many
episodes, and well, I mean, like you could marathon it in a day, but it would.
You completely cut out, so all I got is you would, and I think that's a great place to just
fair.
You would silence. Okay,
silence.
Who knows what would happen?
It's like Yoda. You will. Oh God. Okay.
Anime. I'm gonna watch it again.
You can watch it again and again and again, but you should also watch the new shows because then you get attached to them as well, and I'll slowly build up your library. I can only take
so much attachment, Kat. Like I already have attachment to things, and like it hurts when they're over. I'm hurt right now because it's over.
I know.
I want more.
But you just gotta remember, the beginning of a story is a happy accident. The end is the fate for which it is met. A story that doesn't end is a truly terrible thing.
Wow. Where did you pull that from?
Princess Tutu.
Wow. Okay.
That's the thing I tell myself every time something ends and I'm sad.
Okay. All right. I'm still sad.
No.
But okay, yes. One day we'll get it, everyone. One day, and if not, I'm gonna get that manga and I will find out what happens.
Yep, and I'm gonna be catching up on the manga pretty quick. I'm waiting for the next volume to drop, and then I'll do my bulk order. Because I order shit in batches, and then I look and I go, where do I put the batches? The things I've bought, I have no more space. Why is manga so bulky?
I don't have space either.
Aww. Gotta love being in fandoms where things are so big and bulky. That's why whenever they're like, oh, here's a new collector's edition of something, it's like, yeah, I want it, but I don't have space.
Yep.
If I just buy the game, it's only this big. If I buy the collector's edition, it's this big.
There's so many cool things.
I know, right? Like the P5 one?
Yes. It has a cool box that sleeps right next to me in my bed.
Not
But yeah.
right. Okay, yeah.
Thanks for stopping by on this super rambly episode about Yona. It's on Crunchyroll if you want to check it out, and I do highly suggest checking it out. At least give it the first episode, as we mentioned before. And yeah, no, it's good times. Enjoy.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.